what will you do to ensure the protection of clean water, clean air, for our children, will
That's a good question. I think every president has a right to put their cabinet into place. And I support the cabinet, put it into place. But that doesn't mean I support all the policies. It doesn't mean I support the policies. I'm going to treat all the policies that come out of the Trump White House the same way that I treated all the policies that came out of the Bush White House and all the policies that came out of the Obama White House. They're not always right, but they're not always wrong. And when the policy itself comes to my desk, I'll take a look at it. If it's right, I'll support it. If it's good for Carson City, I'll support it. Take for example, nobody's done more on my side of the aisle than myself when it comes to solar energy. In fact, single-handedly, about 1.5 years ago, I supported and saved the solar industry in this state and across this country by making sure that the investment tax credit stayed in the omnibus bill to make sure that they had the incentives necessary to continue with the solar energy that we have in this country and in this state. And it's huge for Nevada. It is huge for Nevada. In fact, no state has more alternative energy, than the state of Nevada. So I'll continue to support it. I asked him that question specifically. I talked to Pruitt. Pruitt said he's not a climate change denier. That's what he said in my office, and we talked about it. If I don't like his policies, I won't support him. It's simple as that. If I like his policies, I will support him. So we'll keep moving forward on that.
You ignored us. You ignored us.
What's happened, yeah? No.
Well, because I'm dealing with a few things that are Nevada-centric, a few things that are national-centric. We're trying to get a deeper base on healthcare. Well, I'm not saying it's not Nevada-centric. I'm just saying I don't have a vote. I don't have a vote.
I came from Fallon. I pay my own way. I'm an alfalfa farmer and a retired school librarian.
Good.
I am not being paid to come here.
I missed the part where I said you were. Did I say you were paid to come here? Okay. What?
We're told that we're being paid.
Well, let me give you a little flash. I'm sure that you're telling the truth. Now I'm going to give you a little bit of truth. The administration doesn't check with me before they say something. The party doesn't. They don't. No, I'm not representing the administration. I'm representing the third branch of government, which is the legislative branch.
Then do your job.
Actually, I am doing my job. I'm here getting input from constituents. How do you think it's going so far? Unfiltered input.
Only because we paid to show up.
Well, listen, I don't know. Ronnie Hanman runs a tough ship, but I'm pretty sure she didn't hold a gun to anybody's head and tell them to whatever. I do this every year. You guys want to raise some money at something with a group this big or smaller? Let Mr. Wilkerson organize it and you can pack the room.
That's about as good as your position on healthcare. You know?
Pardon me.
No, that's
Don.
Steve's fault. It's about
Yeah.
your position on healthcare, immigration, and everything.
Listen, do we need health care and reform in this country? Yes.
Single payer. Single payer.
I'm not sold on single payer. With all due respect, how do you think the federal government is doing in providing health care to veterans right now? How do you think that Medicaid and the Medicare programs are going with doctors in Nevada? I guess I need to ask, who's the timekeeper for you guys? Can I get a little more time? Yeah, I can. Thanks. Specifically, are there good things in the ACA? The 26 thing, the can buy across state lines, the can't be denied for pre-existing conditions? Are you ready for this word? Yes. Those are good things. Yes, I will support those things in legislation. Okay? But now, I'm okay on lifetime caps too, but here's the problem. You gotta come up with a system that actually pays for itself.
Yeah, hello.
And when Dean talks about a 40% Cadillac tax, how many people in here work for somebody where you're self-employed, you're self-insured? Anybody here work for one of the large resort industries, like the Peppermill in Reno or the Atlantis or those folks? Guess what? They've been self-insured for over 3 decades, and doing a great job. It's one of the things that those folks sell their employees when they come to work for them. We got a great health insurance program. We fund it ourselves. We self-insure, blah, 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 come work for us. Guess what? And don't take my word for it. Go ask the Paganettis at the Pepper Mill or the Farahis go ask any large employer you want. Say, where's that going? And they'll tell you, guess what? We're going to hold out as long as we can.
So what about the rest of us?
And then it's going to be, that's just an example. The problem is one size doesn't fit all.
You're still
Paying a CEO's salary to stay healthy. It's not a business model that.
How many people in here were on the Nevada Exchange when it first opened up? Oh, I see I'm in the minority on that. I was in the Nevada Exchange, the silver plant, through St. Mary's. Had to get out. Collapsed. Now that isn't because Republicans are bad or Democrats are good or anything. The concept in our state, in this region, simply didn't work. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm saying you got to come up with a solution that works.
That's your
Yeah.
And you're right. And guess what? You're absolutely right. Well, that's because I would like to hear from everybody before we try to fix it. I'm sorry, is there some sort of filter in this room right now? I'll give it my best shot. Thank you very much for the advice. Well, then, you can be one of the 130,000 people that voted against me the last election, which is our process. I accept and embrace. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Mark and Laura. I think the acrimoniousness in this room and all those folks outside kind of displays something, and that's
Bunch of rude assholes.
Please continue.
And it's that if your constituents want to talk to you, and you're fun to talk to, you like to carry, would you guys commit to having a public town hall rather than, a chamber of commerce luncheon? Anyway, that's my question to both of you. In this recess week or in the next recess week, I think is in April, would you guys commit to having a town hall, since the Chamber of Commerce was very clear that this is not that and they don't facilitate that?
I don't know. I think you guys are doing a pretty good job of that. But anyhow.
But that's just so
Yeah, I will. I'll have one. Because I'm afraid things are on a too big a filter here. Well, it's not his turn yet. Hey, this is my time. This is my time. Oh, so you guys don't care about me except for this gentleman here.
How about Senator Heller? One more town hall for the public?
Is my time up?
Yeah.
You're tapped out. All right. First of all, I think this is a wonderful town hall. Regardless of what they call it, I think this is a wonderful town hall, and I think it's unfiltered. And I appreciate everybody that's here. Let me share with you what I have done for the last 10 years. I've done teletown halls for the last 10 years. Most of you in this room have participated on a teletown hall meeting. Yeah, and it's great. It's unfiltered.
You guys are the rudest bunch of people, those yelling and interrupting. My wife's upset, we're gonna leave. I wish you could be a little more adult and a little more courteous. I think it'd get more done than yelling over people and interrupting people. So really,
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll do a town hall meeting if you promise one thing, is that you won't applaud. No applauding, all right? And I'll tell you what, no booing either. Just no applauding, no booing, and we will have a one-on-one dialogue. Is that fair? No applauding, no booing, just like they do in the chamber of the United States Senate. If you applaud, or you can't applaud, you can't boo, just have a one-on-one conversation. I'd be more than happy to do it for an hour. In fact, I'll do it with you, Mark. You and I will do a town hall meeting, and we will have a one-on-one with everybody. But this is the reason I do the town hall meetings. I can get 5,000 people on the phone at one time. 5,000. I don't care if you're, listen. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, it doesn't matter, 5,000 people. I don't filter the questions. I don't filter the question. So I don't know who's on the phone, I don't care, and it doesn't matter what question you ask. But we do this for an hour and been doing it every week for 10 years. And it has been an incredible opportunity for me back in Washington, D.C. to stay in touch with my constituents, and I'm going to continue to do so. I will continue to do teletown hall meetings, and I'll continue to have 5,000 people on that phone, and I will not filter, I promise you that. And anybody who wants to participate in one of my weekly teletown, because we do it in different areas. We'll do one in Clark, we'll do one in Marshall, we'll do one in the rurals, and we'll rotate it. We can't get all of Clark in one phone call, so we'll do 4 or 5 in Clark over a month and a half, but it does take some time. But these, to get that kind of participation on one-on-one conversation that I have with my constituents is second to none. It literally is second to none.
So you're committing to an in-person town hall this recess or next? There's one tonight in Reno from 6 to 8. No, we provided either one.
Email or have a way to kind of have a list of things that are likely to be brought up in the town hall, so just to become a free-for-all, that we have a constructive discussion on.
When I do these teletown hall meetings, I probably get to 20 questions within the hour. 20 questions, and it's the gamut of ideas and concerns.
I don't know, anyway.
Anybody can push 0 on the keypad. I get 150 people on the line. I only get to 20 questions. They leave a message with their name and telephone number, and myself or my staff will call you back. We'll call you back if you have a question or a concern. That way, I can get to as many people as I possibly can.
Yeah, but if we have a list or if we have some areas, kind of sidebars on things that are really concerning people.
Believe me, they bring them up. They bring them up. Don't get me wrong. They bring them up. Oh yeah, yeah. You know, we haven't touched on immigration. Is that a topic that nobody wants to have a chance to touch for just a minute?
Are you going to support Senator Cortez Masto's bill to overturn what the current administration is doing?
What I did do last week is I signed on to the DACA bill. I am one of, I think, 12 or 13 Republicans that supported immigration reform about 3 or 4 years ago, and I still believe that that is the proper way to go forward. I spent the last 2 days, I left Sunday night and went down to the Texas southern border. In fact, I got back late last night and was in Laredo, in McAllen, and some of these areas that have some real problems with drug trafficking, human trafficking, individuals that are crossing. Let's put it this way, if you cross the southern border right now, and they have 200 to 400 a day, your chances of getting across the border is 50-50. That's your chances today, it's 50-50. Now, in the immigration reform bill that I supported, that would have done everything that the White House is talking about today in securing our border. Is there anybody in here that does not favor securing the border? Anybody in here does not support? All right? That's not, we're not talking a wall. We're not talking a wall. Are you interested in securing the border? Sure. That is through the security in my conversations with Border Patrol. And I have these good conversations. They need 3 things. They need personnel, they need technology, and they need infrastructure. I'll leave the decisions to them. They're the ones every day with their boots on the ground, these men and women protecting you and I, and trying to make sure that drugs aren't coming into this country, that human trafficking is not happening in this country, and they do a tremendous job. But the decisions on spending the kind of money that we need to spend should be based on the decisions that they believe that we need. And that's personnel, that's technology, and infrastructure. Where they believe infrastructure is necessary, where they believe personnel is necessary, and technology, and the technology that they need. So I'll continue to support our Border Patrol agencies and continue to support that southern border.
But you won't support Captain Cortez Masto's overturning the ban on Muslims?
I've already expressed my opinion. I've already expressed my opinion. And I do believe at the end of the day, the answer is immigration reform. The answer is it's a legislative answer. It's a legislative answer.
Support going back to jailing employers who hire illegals. The one that Ronald Reagan overturned.
Like Donald Trump and
then
Phil
that
Rockland.
fixes the whole problem. Just jail employers, because we know who they are. They advertise in Mexico every day. They bring people up.
My turn.
Would you support that? Jail employers who break the law.
I will continue to play to the issues. So when you say there's a bill that says whatever, give me the bill number. My history in 5 years has been pretty open. I voted against most Republicans when it comes to DACA stuff. Doesn't make the Republicans happy. Don't expect it to make you guys say, hey, this guy's a great guy.
So you're okay with that then? All right, thank you.
No, I won't put words in your mouth, and I won't let you put them in mine either, ma'am. So thank you very much. Let me give you some thoughts on the town hall. I know that we're anxious to do that, and we should be. But with all due respect, if you want to talk about specificity in legislation on the floor, or specificity regarding health care, or specificity regarding public lands, thank you for bringing that sign. I'll bet you thought it's like, my God. What about federal lands? Great. But I can suggest to you that in April, which is when we will endeavor to schedule the town hall, you will have, oh my God, about 6 more weeks worth to see what really happened and what's actually on the floor in legislation or not. And there was somebody who mentioned, it's like, hey, if you want somebody to say, where are you at on HR, and I'm sorry I used your alias, Mr. Fulkerson, but I'll try not to do that with law enforcement in the room. You know,
You could have said a lot worse than a name like Fulkerson.
That's right, that's right. And I haven't. So anyhow, you know, good for you. Yeah. Wait a minute, let me finish the town hall, okay? I mean, if you want somebody who's rapid fire, get a young guy up here, for God's sake. Yeah, I know you will, and listen, I'm looking forward to that too, because that's our system. However, we're going to endeavor to set it up in April. We're going to endeavor to say, not that we're going to limit anything, but it's like, if you got specific legislation on whatever topic, then that's fine. Say, where are you at on? It's like, fine, I'll show up.
Will it be in person?
Well, I don't think anybody else would want to be me, so yes. With all due respect, hey, this is my time. Quit disrespecting me for him. You guys are age, they're discriminating on the basis of age because he's younger. I don't want that. So anyhow, that's what I'm thinking for purposes of that. Yes, ma'am.
Regarding a piece of legislation which you introduced, which would require congressional approval for the designation of national monuments in Nevada. I'm here to say that I oppose that legislation. We need our recreational dollars in Nevada. We need our public lands protected. There are public lands, and I want to hear from you why you would do such a thing, because
I'm prepared to let you hear from me right now. Let me know when you're ready.
They're going to go there because they now know about this area. People are going to go there. They're going to get hotels.
I'm prepared for you to hear from me right now. Let me know when you're ready.
I oppose it.
Are you ready to hear from me?
Yeah.
Okay. I find it incredibly interesting that in a meeting where rightfully so people are saying we want access to you, we want a town hall, we want a free exchange of information, that you would say, but when it comes to designating 900,000 acres as a national monument for a bill that was done in 1906, which if you read, do that homework, and read the background on it, you're going, this wasn't really meant to take apart. And by the way, the federal government already owned it, with the size of Rhode Island, without so much as a public hearing.
It's protecting the land.
Oh, so if I'm protecting the land, then I don't need to have a town hall and explain myself?
It's for all of us. It's for all Americans.
Well, so is health care. So is immigration reform.
No, that's
With all due respect,
for Nevada.
I'm about to the end of my time. With all due respect, we sincerely disagree on the issue.
Yes, we do.
But I haven't hidden it from you.
I'm not the only one who did that.
I know, I understand that. You tell me the last time anybody got polling results that were at 100%. So this absolute standard, while we all strive for it, nobody's ever made it.
Given that Trump's executive orders don't have hearings associated with them, would you stand in opposition to them?
I hope he's not going to be a hypocrite. How's that? I don't get to make executive orders.
What is that?
I'm the guy who said we need to have hearings. We need to do our job. You want to get angry at somebody? If you're angry at me because I'm part of a Congress that hasn't forwarded any immigration legislation in the 5+ years I've been there, you have a very good reason for getting angry. The congressional leadership on both sides of the aisle needs to show some courage. You look in that thing called the Constitution, which God knows I'm not an expert on. It says Congress shall regulate immigration. Congress has abdicated its job, which is part of the reason why Barack Obama filled that void with executive orders and Donald Trump's starting down that road. Shame on you, congressional leadership on both sides, for not doing your job. That's my bottom line on it. How do you go back to being bipartisan? Well, I think it's gatherings like this, don't you all? Hey, listen, all I can tell you is this. Listen, I understand that there are people in this room and outside of it that disagree with me on most, and in some cases, all political issues. Okay, I get that. I'm not minimizing it, I'm just saying that's what you get when you have people doing two different things. But I'll tell you what, I'll be real transparent. You know where I go when it gets the roughest? I go to the facts. It's like, what are the facts and what do we need to do? Does this issue or this policy need to be changed? And there are many that do. But I will tell you this, I'm also such a fuddy-duddy that it's like, my job is to put together the votes or try to use the influence to get those people on my side of the building to pass that legislation. And then it goes to his side or vice versa, and then you go to whoever's in the, it's like, when all else fails, why don't you try, you, Mark, being the plan? And does part of that plan involve input from everybody in this room and out of it? Yeah. Does it mean we're going to agree on everything? History tells us no. But having the conversation is phenomenally important. I think my time has expired. Senator Heller.
Thank you. I want to thank the youth in the Carson City Chamber for hosting us. This has been a wonderful event. I hope we have talked to enough people here from the chamber to get your concerns. I want to go back to what I originally talked about, and that's economic growth. We need economic growth here in this country. We're going to do it through tax reform. We're going to do it through banking reform. We're going to do it through reforming the Affordable Care Act so that we can get our country moving in the right direction, moving down the right road. And if we can get 3%, 5%, 4% growth in this country, we're going to solve a lot of problems. And that's my job, and I know that the congressman feels the same way. So thank you very much for being here, having us here, taking some time. I want to thank the chamber and all of you. I want to thank the staff here at Golden Dust West. You guys did a wonderful job, and we certainly do appreciate everybody's time, efforts, and energies. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Sure.